Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy Marcus Elbow. Welcome back to Elbow Media Studios. And if this is your first time, I appreciate you clicking on this video, man. Hey, you might want to consider subscribing, because if you're into music production, you're into learning cool equipment, and you're into just watching cool streams with us, having fun, interacting with the community, you're in the right place, man. Oh, yeah. Also, all we do over here is keep it crunk, man. Let's get it. Elbow Media Studio. Check it out, guys. Today I got a treat for y'all. I have been waiting to do this video for a while. I've been trying to figure out how to shoot it in a way to where, you could see everything and get a clear-cut understanding on how it works. Today we're going to look at how to take your iPad and AUM and turn it into a multi-rack sound module for the Akai Force or the MPC. I'm gonna be using the Akai Force, but you can do this with the MPC as well, MPC Live too. So this is gonna be a very cool tutorial, and if you grasp it and you understand it, then you're gonna have some fun using all the sounds that comes with your iPad and being able to take that over to the Akai Force. Man, this is gonna be great. All right, so let's get a start on some of the things you're gonna need to be able to get this started. First of all, in order for you to get this started, you're gonna need these cables. There's no question about it. These are the cables you're gonna need. You're gonna need to get you a camera kit adapter. As you can see, I got the Type C, but you also can get the Lightning port one that comes with that. I have that one as well, but since my iPad is a 2018, anything 2018 and above is going to be a Type C, and this is the one you need to get, just to let you get a good look at that, because it has a USB, it has the 3.5 millimeter earphone jack, and it also has another Type C so you can hook up your power. Okay, you're also going to need to get you a 1/4 inch cable with a 3.5 millimeter at the end. That way you can hook up to your camera kit, and you could also hear sound coming from your iPad. Okay, you're also going to need the cables that come with your Akai Force or your MPC, maybe not the MPC, but the Akai Force. These are the adapters for your MIDI cables, so you're definitely going to need that for your ins and out. And you're also going to need this MIDI to USB MIDI cable interface. As you can see here, you have your MIDI cables connections here, and you have your USB here. Okay, I will leave I will leave links in the description for you to be able to go and purchase at least these three. The other one comes with it, but if not, then you can also purchase those as well. I'll leave a link down just in case you didn't buy and it didn't come with all of the stuff if you bought it used or anything like that. But that's all you're gonna need right there so that you can get started, man. So let's just go ahead on and do what we do. We're gonna go ahead and head over to where I got everything set up, and we're gonna connect it, and hopefully I can get you guys going and you can learn how to do this, and you can start having a real great time using all the sounds that's inside of your iPad or your iPhone. All right, man, let's get it. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to connect our MIDI cables to our MIDI adapters, and if you look closely here, you will see that it has MIDI in and MIDI out here. Let me show you right there. That says MIDI out. This one here says MIDI in, as you can see there. That's going to be important whenever you start to trying to hook this up to your iPad. You're going to need to know which one that is. So as you can see here, I have those guys connected. And if you look right here, these are where the connections go. So all I need to do is I need to come out of the iPad, and then I need to come into the Akai Force. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look for my MIDI out and my MIDI in again. And what I'm gonna do is, the quickest way to remember this is out is in and in is out. So right here you have out. So what I'm gonna do, if you can see that right there, I will try to zoom in on that. I'm just gonna put my in into the out and my out into the in. Okay, that's connected. Okay, and that's connected. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to connect to the iPad, and we're going to use our camera kit here. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so now we're here at the iPad, and what we're going to do is we're just going to connect this to our iPad here. Okay, Now that's connected. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, let's get our cable. Okay, and as you can see here, all we're going to do is connect our USB to our USB on our camera kit. Okay, and now that portion is done and we are connected. As you can see, the red light here is an indicator that you are connected. Okay, now we need to connect the sound to make sure that we could hear our sound coming from the iPad to the Akai Force. We're going to need these cables here, these cables right here. Remember, we had our 1/4 inch to our 3.5 millimeter. We're just going to go ahead on and get this connected. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into 1 and 2 on the input section here on the Akai Force, and just want to make sure that you're on the line connection here. Okay, and you don't have phantom power on because we're not using the mic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect this directly into our iPad. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to connect that directly here so that we can get sound coming from the iPad, and that's connected. So now we make sure we got everything connected here. We have our sound coming from the iPad here. Okay, and then we have it going directly into the Akai Force. And if you want to, you can kind of mess with your dials here to make sure everything is leveled. Looks good to me. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next section where we start to get everything working. All right, and let's go ahead on and see what it's going to take for us to get everything hooked up with this whole system. Okay, so first thing we want to do is let's just go ahead on and set up AUM real quick, since it's the you know, not the most complicated, but it's going to take a few things to get that set up. So first thing we're going to do, we already got AUM up, so we're just going to go ahead and get AUM going. I'm going to create an audio track, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the plus button. We're going to go to audio units, and we're going to put digitalism inside of there. Okay, now since digitalism is up, what we want to do is we want to go to the menu section, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to look down here inside of the MIDI section, and we're going to, first of all notes are off. So what we want to do is we're going to go here to use MIDI, and then what we want to do is we want to highlight, we want to hit none, and then we're going to make sure we just hit number 1. That's going to be our first MIDI channel. The way this works is you have a MIDI channel for each of your sound modules, and then inside of the Akai Force, you're going to set that up to make sure that your MIDI channels coincide with the MIDI channels that you have inside of AUM. Okay, so let's just go ahead on and make sure that we have a few more set up. Okay, and I'm just going to go here, and I'm just going to hit another one, and we're just going to go with digitalism again, just for the sake of, you know, let's go with House Mark II. We're going to let House Mark II load up, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the USB MIDI. Okay, and then we're going to again hit none, and then we're going to hit number 2 to let it know that we want number 2 to be our second MIDI channel. And just for the sake of, you know, redundancy, we're going to do it again. We're going to go to audio units, and then this one we can put in let's just go with digital 1. Okay, and then in digital 1 we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use MIDI, USB MIDI, which is our MIDI card that we have. We're going to check off none, and then we're going to hit number 3. Okay, so now essentially what we have now is we have 3 MIDI devices, which is 3 sound modules, and all 3 are on their own individual channel. Okay, so let's go ahead on and let's go ahead and look and see how can we make sure that we're good inside of the Akai Force. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do inside of the Akai Force, we want to go to our matrix, and what we need to do is we need to go here and we need to create us a MIDI track. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and create 3 MIDI tracks here, since we have 3 sounds over here. Okay, now since I have 3 MIDI tracks, what I can do is I can double click and go inside of the MIDI section and then tell the Akai Force to look at the USB MIDI. And the way that you do that is you just scroll down and you hit your USB MIDI on your control here, and then you can also do it on your inputs and your output. Okay, and then that first one is going to be MIDI channel number 1, as you can see right there. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just leave out of that one. I'm gonna double click on number 2. I can leave the input to all ports, but we just want to make sure the second one is USB MIDI. We're going to make sure that one is number 2. And then we're going to go here to the third one, and we're going to do the same thing. Go to output, put that as USB MIDI, and then we're going to go to number 3, and then we're going to close that out. Okay. Now, if we go back to 1, we want to make sure that we could hear what's coming out of the iPad. In order for you to do that, you have to set up the Akai Force to be able to listen to the iPad. The way you do that is you go to menu, and then you're going to go into your sample section. And then when you get into your sample section, you're going to hit monitor on. So now you can hear any type of audio that's coming in through the inputs. Okay. So now if I go over here to digitalism, okay, and I hit the keyboard section here, you could hear it. Okay, I know y'all can hear that, right? So I can turn it up here, right? And if I just exit out of that and I go into the other one and I hit the keyboard again, you can hear that one. And if I go into this one, to digital 1, I hit the keyboard again. Okay, we can hear all of those and they're ready to go. So we know now that we have sound coming into our Akai Force coming from the iPad. Okay, but we still need to make sure that we could play what's going on. So what I need to do now, I'm gonna go back to the matrix. Okay, and then what I need to do is I need to be able to play on the keys. So if I hit the note button, I should be able to play it. Now that's coming straight from the iPad right there. If I switch channels, that's coming from the actual number 2. And then if I switch channels again, it is just that easy. And I also have my keyboard hooked up as well. Just want to make sure I have all of that on all channels. And now you're hearing me play my keyboard. So now essentially what you're seeing happening right now is all of my sounds are not coming from inside of the Force. They're coming from the iPad, because I just showed you how to connect each one up using the Akai Force and using the iPad in tandem to be able to connect all of my sounds. And I can go in and I can record just like I would on any other device if I wanted to. Okay, I can go in here to my iPad and I can change my sounds if I want to. Let's see. Whatever I want to do, I can do it here. And all I got to do is going to actually follow. It's going to actually, if I just go in and do like I would normally do and create a clip here for bars, just to show you that it will record, let's go ahead and hit shift, and let's go back to the matrix, and then we're going to hit shift. I'm sorry, we're going to hit hold down knobs and hit screen. That way we can see what we're doing. And let's change the tempo to a little something faster, maybe 145. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead on and arm the track, which is already armed. And then I'm just going to hit record. And I can start recording and go in here and edit this just like I would anything else. I can go in and grab that and edit it just like I would anything else. Just nudge it on over. All right, let's get out of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the matrix. I'm going to go to number 2. I'm going to go ahead and create another clip. And then I don't know what sound is inside of there. Okay, I like that. Let's go ahead on and do another recording. So I'm just going to hit record. Just that easy. Go back to the matrix. We're gonna go to the next sound. Let's go ahead and change the octave on that. All right, let's go ahead and hit clip. Gonna go ahead and create a new clip. Gonna stop and go ahead and record this. Remember, we can go in and edit that. Go back to matrix, and as you can see here, just as easy as if we were pulling sounds directly from the actual inside of the Force from the plugins, we can do the same thing with the iPad. Now, in order for you to be able to take those sounds and make sure they stay inside of the Akai Force, you have to turn it into an audio track, okay? And that takes a little bit more doing. It's not that difficult. It's fairly easy. Let's see if we can knock that out real quick without keeping this video going too long, okay? All right, guys, so we're back in the studio for this last portion. I want to make sure that you guys could really see this and it could be clear, so that you will be 100% good on how to make this happen. What we're going to get ready to do, like I said, is we're going to take the MIDI data that we're pulling from the iPad and we're going to turn that into an audio file so that you can move away from the iPad and continue working and mixing the track solely in the Akai Force and not continue to be tethered to the iPad. So let's go ahead and get that done. So as you know, we already created 3 tracks. I've already converted 2 of those tracks. I'm going to convert 1 more just so I could show you guys how to do it. I actually did it in the video, but I didn't record the audio, unfortunately. So that's why I had to come in here and do it in here. Plus, I want you guys to be able to see it clearly so you'll know exactly what we got going, okay? All right, so let's go ahead on and get this done. So I still have the track playing here. We still have the same sounds and everything. Only difference is now you only have 1 MIDI track, which is number 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn that into an audio file. So I've already created an audio file, but let me go ahead and show you how to do that again, just in case you don't know. All you have to do is hit the plus to create a track, and then we're just going to go here to audio file, and it's just that easy. It's been created. Okay, so when we go back to the MIDI file, what we want to do is, again, we want to convert this into an audio file so that we could use it inside of the Force like a sample. So let's go ahead and hit the menu button, and then we're going to go to the looper. Okay, and then we get inside of the looper. Let's make sure we have that track soloed. So I'm gonna go ahead and solo that. Okay, it's been soloed. Okay, so let's go back to the looper. Okay, now that we're in the looper, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are on 4 bars or whatever, however long you want. If you want to be 2 bars or whatever, just make sure you're on there. And you can loop multiple times, but we're just going to keep it on play, not record and overdub. Since we're already, all that's done, we're ready to go. All we have to do is hit record to arm it. Then all we have to do is hit play. When it come back around, we'll stop it. Now we got it. Let's play it. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the export. And then once we export that out, we're going to export that to audio clip number 3. Remember, we only got 3 tracks. We started with 2. Now we got 3. So let's go ahead and put that to 3. We're going to go ahead and get that clip out of there. We're going to go ahead and hit clear. We're going to head over to the matrix. Okay. And now we have that in there. But let's go to the mixer. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and unsolo that. We're going to mute number 3. And let's go ahead and solo. Let's go ahead and solo the audio track, and then we're going to go to the clip. And what you got to do is you got to go to the grid and then hit the pencil tool, and then you want to select the sample and take off warp, because if you don't take off warp, it's going to act silly and it's going to sound weird. Put it on 4 bars, sorry. Put it on 4 bars and you should be good to go. Go ahead and push play. Let's launch it. Now we got it done. So if I go back to the mixer and then I unsolo that, that is mine now. So if I wanted to, I can go to number 3, hold down delete, and then delete number 3, delete 1 as well. And now we have our 3 tracks. We already know 4 was just one I created just for you. And now we are good to go. We no longer need the iPad. We just use the iPad to get the sounds out of it, use it like a sound module, recorded all the sounds into the Akai Force, and now we can continue making the beat and doing our thing. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you really understood that and grasped that process on what it takes to get that done. It's not really that complicated. It's just some steps you have to go through to make sure that the Akai Force and the iPad are communicating over MIDI. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You learned a lot in this, though. You learned how to interface with that. You learned also how to do audio recording as well, and how to take that audio recording and put it into the track. So it was a lot in this one, man, but I really been waiting to do this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you got something out of this. And hey, run out, man, and make some killer beats. All right, yo, this your boy Marcus Elbow. This has been Elbow Media Studios, man. Thank you for coming through. Don't forget to hit that subscription button, notification bell, hit that up like button, hit the down like. It's up to you. And it helps YouTube when it sees the interactions. It helps YouTube push these videos out to other people so that they can watch them. So listen, I appreciate you. You already know that. Don't forget to come holler at us on the stream on Saturdays at 6 p.m. And yeah, go watch the next video. What are you waiting for? All right, man, your boy Marcus Elbow. I'm out. One. Peace.